What is up? What is up? It's time for some FACEIT League. We got Crimson's taking on Dhill Donkeys here tonight. Crimsons are your advanced champions coming out of Season 4. I'm pulling up some standings from this season as we speak. Crimson's coming in 2-1, I believe. Yes. You can see most of NA have played their fourth match already. So the only reason Crimson is way down here is just because they haven't played their fourth match. And I believe Dhill Donkeys are 2-1 as well. Yeah, absolutely. So pair of 2-1 teams coming in tonight. As I mentioned, Crimson's first season in Expert after taking the Grand Championship there for Season 4 Advanced Division. Went from 15-1 through regular season, 5-0, first place in both regards, regular season and playoffs. After winning Open Division the season before. So this is a team that's, nothing but first place so far, quite literally, as far as their season finishes. Can Crimson's do it again? I mean, now we're facing much tougher opponent here. Much tougher opponents in general in Expert Division. So, but I mean, so far so good. A 2-1 start. Opportunity to move up to 3-1 again. Move into top 10 here early in the season. Being their first season in Expert Division, we're just kind of getting to learn this team, kind of getting to know these players. So, we'll learn more about them here today as we, see them get out there and do their thing. Oh, it is 8:01. Let's double check in here. Okay, so it's gonna be Oasis picked out of Crimson's. Oh, they're actually gonna be starting on the right-hand side. Let me go ahead and get that adjusted for you. Dhill Donkeys have been around for a bit, but I think we're under a different name. Yeah, it was the Student Savant Squad. So I mean, not a team we got on very often, to be perfectly honest. A few more recognizable names on this roster. Chicken being one that stands out. Definitely one we're keeping an eye out for here today as we're getting loaded into our first map. It's going to be Oasis to start. Here, let's, what were those bands? It was Brig and Hazard. So Crimson's with the Hazard band. Let me go and I'll get that fixed once we get in here. Okay, so there's a break band in from the Dhill Donkeys. Oh, hey, let me get you some Pretz. I had them preloaded today. I knew this would come in handy. I had them preloaded. So I could okay, anyway, let's go. Diva Dive comp from here out of the Donkeys. Bakura at the helm. Oh, I may have definitely cast before. I have definitely cast before. Unless I'm confusing with another player. And that's entirely possible. Ooh, ends up getting that opening DMAC. Kind of roll with a Ramatra Cup on City Center. You gotta be so careful with your positioning, not get picked apart. And I mean, a good job just controlling stairs and kind of one by one taking down anybody that came in. It is Bullscup. It is what? I'm on a 2-minute delay. I'm sorry. Chat interaction sucks. But, it's necessary for competitive integrity and all that. Notable difference from the Flex DPS with the Tracer versus the Genji Panda Squad. Coming up on the first ultimate in the game. Ooh, good clip on Akasha. They are able to top off. Shots in from Hudson from above, though. So Hudson's controlling the top of this tower. Ooh, starting gets around as Panda Squad has gotten entrenched. That was a good shot, but there's the follow-up. Frozen alongside with the Kitsune Rush is able to run down Kerm. And that was part of using the wide open spaces here to help take over. Oh, sorry, my mouse screaming at me. It always does that when I have my charge cable hidden. Here, it'll be go wireless. Sound barrier out of the donkeys to counter the Kitsune rush in from Crimson's. Frozen Blade able to pick up aim right out of the gate. Actually took out of the bolo. I did not hear that bolo come out. I think it might have been just taken right on out of it there by the blade. Sorry we didn't get that one on straight. So 2 fight wins in a row here out of the donkeys and the Diva comp. Yep, I was gonna say it looks like a street side rotation from Kerm and the rest of Crimson's. Do you have you have an orbital as well as an annihilation to work in here with. So, you know, a slow and steady push, a lot of sustain will serve them well. But with all the space to work with, they're gonna have to find a way to kind of clamp down on 1 or 2 players to really find the value. Either that or is just going to toss in a couple ultimates for merely a flip. But a good chase here. It's going to find a Kasha right out of the gate. Kasha trying to turn inside. Cannot find someone to swift step to, perhaps. Didn't quite see. The follow-up from Panda Squad back to the 5v3. Favorite Crimson's on this point. Pulse ready to go. Furry Finboy getting into the kill feed. And some punches from Kerm will take Bakura out of mech. This is going to be the swap here. Oh, Maddie, that is going to be an amazing day. Oh, you are just planting evil ideas. Just pretend there's a 2-minute delay, then at some point just start talking to you. Oh, what a stick! Talk about seeing the future! My goodness! Panda's gone with a beautiful pulse ball. I mean, it gets one of, if not the most difficult target to land a pulse. This kind of forces a difficult decision. Orbital Ray tossed outside the choke, and Kerm's going to go in and invest. And this is what I was talking about, when you can kind of compress Dhill donkeys in, then you find value there from the orbital and the annihilation. It's exactly what Crimson's are able to do. Now, we did get Bakura getting a squish on the Panda Squad, who drops the understandable lol in chat. But, you know, Bakura was the last one left here on the point. Yeah, potential for some stall. Damien Dapp is 75 towards a sound barrier. So if Frozen and whoever else is left here, Damien Dapp finds a kill. Oh, Frozen can't stay alive. Bakura swapping back over to a wrecking ball. Still an opportunity for this to flip. Hudson trying to get back into this fight. Slowly but surely making their way in, but Damien Dapp dies 10% away from that sound barrier. Hudson has to settle for a long-range bolo onto Kerm, the least ideal target, and a Kitsune rush will make it impossible to take this back. Crimson's will hold on and grab the first round.
Ready for battle.
Panda Squad landing that amazing stick there for the legend Muma in chat. Appreciate you being here. Right? That stick was nasty. That stick was badass. Coast side rotation, Bakura and donkeys have gone all the way around. I mean, just full loop around the map. Taking it to where almost yanked Finboy off the map with the vortex, but we'll get the follow-up. It's a big 2-for-1 trade. It's a bit of a mosh pit up here on the side. The most dangerous study area of all time here in Oasis University. First cap will go to Crimson's, but looks like donkeys have the kill feed. 3v2 is what's left as Bakura is able to use a vortex to secure one final kill on Ajana. Ame and Panda Squad both with good ult charge built up here. Trying to come back in and retake this. Panda Squad actually about even with Frozen, but Ame with a good lead over Hudson on the other side. Check in on this little duel on the flank. Akasha coming in to help out, but might just put themselves in harm's way. Panda Squad's gonna go ahead and duck on out of there. Back to where Kerm has punched through Bakura on the front line. Chases down Hudson for a quick little two-piece. Ooh, Akasha invests a Kitsune in a 2v5. Not ideal. I'm not sure, maybe just didn't realize how far down they were in that fight, but that is one of the most important ultimates on the board to throw in so haphazardly. Panda Squad going in deep, try to land the stick. Can't quite get it done as I hit the wrong POV. I figured, well, I hit Furry Femboy. We'll watch some Femboy POV. Jono gets popped! So despite Akasha, perhaps wishing they had that ult back, an early kill onto Jono will take the Kitsune Rush off the table here for Crimsons. Opens up for a nice little retake. Very good aggression on the back of that. We get the flip in, late kill onto Kerb. Bakura, the good Vortex, kind of isolated Jono on that left-hand side, but they're able to back up into cover. 53% versus 40. The lead there for the Donkeys. The Dhillest of donkeys. That's 2. Ooh, the heals just barely keeping on me alive. Was as low as 10 health there before the second bolt. The Mega is picked up. Second bolt exploded and the Mega was picked up. Jono there with the Kitsune Rush onto the point. Bakura just drops the Annihilation. Wonderful sound barrier. And a swift finish onto what remained of Crimson Squad. I think the only blessing there. Damien Dapp doing Kerm a favor and getting him off the map in time for a potential last fight. Jono swap into a Lucio to make sure they can try to get back. That was kind of a weird sentence, but you get my point. Furry Femboy goes down early in this, though, and Hudson's going to win their duel over Ame. Annihilation right in the middle, but Kerm is just surrounded. Hudson's able to just pour in the shots from the point. Kitsune Rush here is the icing on the cake. We're headed to Gardens to determine who takes this opening map.
Ready for battle.
We'll have Master Division kicking off on Tuesday. We'll get back into kind of a more normal schedule next week. We'll have Expert Monday, Wednesday. And, of course, Master Tuesday and Master Thursday. Kind of fall into that rhythm. Released my NA Power Rankings not too long before going live. Did have a stream earlier. I'm going to try to cut into videos going over Power Rankings for both regions. And kind of a recap here on Expert. Anyway. Both teams sticking with the same compositions. We saw Frozen start on a Genji back on City Center, but is sticking with the Tracer. Now, switching to the Tracer on University made a lot of sense. There's really no verticality to work with. I think they're kind of optional here, but Frozen is going to opt into the Tracer duel against Panda Squad on the other side. Now, we are getting Furry Femboy sticking with the Juno. The other major difference in these comps. With Damien Dapp and Akasha sticking with the kind of the Lucio carry, very maneuverable, very survivable. A lot of ability to protect, but not a lot of raw HPS. Furry Femboy off the table, so that raw HPS from the Juno is gone. This is going to leverage Bakura into a fight win over Kerm. 4v3 with Bakura down anchoring the point, gets the cap. Ame still trying to trade out here. This is going to use their cooldowns back away. Ooh. I love the anticipation. Looking to try to punish using the sights from that perk. Kind of keep an eye on Hudson. Drops around the corner to find the shot. Looking to get the kill with the follow-up. But wall the fade away. Hudson finds Furry Femboy. They were so low on health and still managed to pick up that kill. They're able to run Ame away. In fact, the entirety of Crimson's is sit packing with that kill on the Furry Femboy. believe that's Frozen dancing around. Okay. Maybe it was Panda Squad there on the back end. Panda Squad trying to push in on the opposite side. Has looped all the way around. Hudson low. Panda Squad wants the finish, but really good peel there. Both supports trying to help keep Panda Squad uncomfortable. Kitsune Rush is out, but not long before Akasha is in the dirt. Curb jumps down to 5. Damien Dap. Both the sound barrier and the bolo. I'm just going to go back into spawn. Crimson should be able to flip this. We heard Chano invest the sound barrier through that as well. Okay, Damien Dap is going to go in and return fire. Annihilation now used on the point from Kerm. Amidst all of this, trying to chase down Hudson and the immense amount of damage the Freya can dispense. Ooh, doesn't land the first shot, but lands the second right in the dome. Still, John was able to find the kill. Kerm is able to suck the life out of a couple of players on the point. Crimsons will finally get this flip. A very interesting fight. Jono went on an assassination mission, finds Akasha. Not sure how they got over there. We are going to get a late ult invested here from Crimson's. Jono drops down. Punch combo on to Dap. Furry Fanboy playing a little fast and loose with the ultimates today, but hey. They have control of the point. They're able to win that fight. I'm in an assassination mission with the bolo in pocket. Ooh, Frozen giving chase with the pulse. Does not land it. Circles back around. Catch Jono coming over the top. Beautiful 2-clip. Finish off Jono. That was crispy. Bakura is somehow able to catch the judo. I mean, that is one here you would think the Ramatra would be able to close the gap on or catch up to. But you know, those 2 picks, beautiful clip out of Frozen, good pick out of Bakura. Now at 99%, Donkeys just need one more fight. His Bolo will not get it done. All guns now pointed down at Kerm, including the ultimate coming out here from Hudson. Block able to negate a lot of the damage. You can see Kerm's armor is holding strong for now. Jono's going to drop the sound barrier, only hits 3, saving Furry, who is very, very low on health. Akasha's Kitsune Rush has been invested into this. A couple of kunai landed down on a Kerm. Once again, we're getting a lot of attention turned on to the tank. Frozen eventually able to wrestle them down and maintain control. Dhill Donkeys will take map 1. It was one hell of a bout. I think we're in for a good one here, friends. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we talked about it on stream today earlier, Maddie. I've seen ML7 in organized play once before. But it's been a long while. ML7 played on, like, Power Friendship, I believe was the team name, in Open Division with Flats and Emong. Like, when they were still, like, when Emong was playing off-tank and Flats was playing main tank in Overwatch 1. So, I mean, it's been that kind of a long time ago. But I actually got to cast that team because they played in Open Division. But, so, ML7 has actually played in organized play before. But it has been, 4 or 5 years. I think 4 years. And he was on, like, they did it twice. They did it 2 years or 2 seasons. And ML7 was on, like, the first roster, but didn't come back for the second. Like, didn't do it both times. So I've seen Flats and Emong compete in Overwatch Path to Pro since I've seen ML7 compete. WPG picked her out of Crimsons. Oh. Are we going to get Winton? Is it time to get Winton? We can look that up. Nathan Loon, we can absolutely look up all of SRPC's matches. I mean, they're going to be playing on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's the default time. Damn it, I missed the ban. God, they're going through these bans fast. But all Master Division matches are scheduled to happen on Tuesdays and Thursdays, starting on this Thursday. So what I believe is actually the 20th. I think it has listed as starting on the 19th, but I think the 19th is actually the Monday. It is. Let's look at some stats there from map 1. So I actually gave this to you a minute ago. All right, a Diva ban in. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, Crimson's do ban the Diva. I wonder if they're actually in order. No, they didn't used to be in order. Like where the top one was actually first ban. That didn't used to be the case. I think it was done by like which team was on the left and which team was on the right. Is which one shows up on top, not which one banned first. I don't know, but we did get Crimson's had first ban, and Diva is a Crimson's ban. And on a Watchpoint Gibraltar pick with the Ana getting banned out by the Donkeys. Go get that plugged in for you here real quick. Let's see. Did I get everything updated? Yeah, everything else should be good. We're just waiting on one more player to get in here. Get into map 3. Map 2, rather. Let's not get ahead of myself. Let's go back and take a look at those stats. I showed you all some stats, but I didn't really get a chance to look at them. Super close. Super close. Kerman Bakura, you know, very narrow margins between the two tanks. Slightly higher damage. I mean, honestly, total damage output's about the same. All right, these are close to 9,500 each between Frozen and Hudson. And you got 10K and 9K between AMDOT and Panda Squad. Like, it's so darn close. So darn close.
Ready for battle.
So let's get into map 2. Well, I hope to see you back here, Nathan Loon. We got FACEIT League. We got FACEIT League on this channel 5 days a week for the most part. I think both last 2 seasons I've streamed an average of something like 85 matches. I'll have to go. I've got 3 more matches I'm going to hope to get up tomorrow for VODs from season 4. And I'll double check that number. But yeah, no, I know we're getting close to the 250 match mark. So, yay, you know, we're getting them out there. We're getting them out there. Oh, boy just hunts down the Lucio. Boy was in the mood for frog legs. I mean, just had a hankering and nothing else would satiate. Takes Damien down at 6% ult charge. Yeah, seeing chicken in expert. Chicken's on the bench here for this one. All right, let's lock in. Oh, I don't like that camera. What's our setup here? I mean, it's Hudson's got all the angles they need. And then just drops aggressively here. Panda Squad tries to go in, realizes they're in a 1v2, and quickly hits that recall. Juno making their way back to the point, but he has managed to claim blue box, but only temporarily. As Bakura immediately moves back up to reclaim that space. Imagine Hudson is going to have an angle on blue box as well. Oh, yeah. Yeah, LH Cloudy is pretty much always streams all their matches. I'm sure they have, I mean, they often have streamers on that team anyway. I'm sure Cloudy wouldn't be the only one as well. But we do try to get some SRPC on. They're always a fun team to watch. Going to be a particularly fun team to watch this season. I got a lot of old school EMEA vets on that squad. Concerning rush available for both teams. In fact, I mean, we're looking at pretty comparable ults on both sides. It's Jono's sound barrier. The one we really need to keep an eye on. That bolo gets blocked by the bubble, but Korra still is going to go down, though. I don't know, it took some splash damage off the ultimate or just got overwhelmed. Now, Jono falling not ideal, but it's still a +1 here to Crimson's. And they should be able to push this over the line. Yeah, it should be. I think it's just Frozen here left stalling it out. Aw, Nogfriend, it's my pleasure. Yeah, chicken and phone and expert. I know, it's wild. It's wild. I mean, to be fair, I don't think chicken and phone ever played in Master. They went straight from expert to OWCS. That is a sound barrier from Damien Depp. It's a cool name, Damien Depp. We had Primal Rage invested for both teams. Jono's going to invest the second sound barrier, notoriously the better sound barrier. Nice move to come in. Interrupts Hudson's ultimate. Jono turning the tides. Gets an AJ in their own right onto the opposing Freya. Comes through with a nice little 3-piece where it's all said and done. What a fight there out of Jono. Wait, is that Ray Leaney? When you're saying Coach R? Is that Ray? What team is she? Wait. Who's Ray coaching? Said thanks for this ban strategy. I'm guessing Crimson's? I could be wrong, though. Like, with Redix saying it's got to be a Dhill thing, right? It's got to be the donkeys. Of course it's got to be the donkeys. And you're getting the Ana ban. So you're forced a Lucio Curie along with the Winston. So not ideal. I guess I probably, I don't know if I should have known that or not, but I didn't. If that's even the case, if that's even who you're talking about. Self-Suzu out of Furry Finboy will keep them alive, but unfortunately that means Abe does not get the same support. Still, concerning rush available to go. Kind of a tough place to get a Kitsune rush in. You have to at least get up to the corner. Frozen kind of... Oh my goodness. Was driven out of the mega area only to go full-fledged straight down Main Street. Aggressive push out of the donkeys on the back of a cautious Kitsune rush. Furry never gets a chance. So, I mean, a lot harder for a Kiriko to get into an angle to get value out of a Kitsune rush here from the attacking side. Defense can just turn the corner, throw it down Main Street, you're good. Kasha did even better than that, right? Is able to get nice aggressive angle. I believe Swift Step in behind Bakura, just given by the positioning of that Kitsune. But very aggressive, no matter how they got there. Now, Furry Finboy does do something very close. So we're getting something similar. Moves up to this high ground. Beautiful Kitsune rush. That time able to find the angle to open it up. I think Bowie jumps up there to proc the Swift Step. Furry Finboy gets in a great angle, and then the follow-up from Panda Squat puts 2 on the board. There's still plenty of time. This would be a great time bank here for Crimson's to cap with, if they can get it done. I think Suzu uses to protect against the stick, but Ame is able to get work done with the Bolo. Both DPS ults invested simultaneously. Bowie trying to close things out with this Primal. Jump in, finish off Damien Depp before they can get the sound barrier up, and you're going to get just shy of 2 minutes left in the bank here from Crimson's.
0 to 3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
Nathan Lynn says, I drop in at least once a week. Super pumped to watch Dhill Ducks here before they made the cut into OWCS. That's amazing. I'm so happy. I'm so happy like you enjoy it. I'm so happy you enjoyed the stream and the coverage. Thank you so much for being here. You got to know the Dhill Duck squad before they make their OWCS debut. How cool. That's what the stream is for. That's amazing how it works out that way. We see anything funny here? I don't see anything funny. Looks pretty expected. I do like that costume, that Freya costume, that skin. I think it's a good skin. Looks particularly good with the galactic weapon.
5, 4, 3,
Okay, where's Bowie positioned? Okay, it's just on bridge for a little poke damage with the ult fire. I'm kind of playing back in the sniper spot. No teleport shenanigans, just a, you know, just kind of a put pressure on the point, full frontal assault here from the donkeys. Gonna use Hudson's verticality here to, you know, keep the bridge clean, keep the defense from able to push too far in, and kind of just drop in. Meanwhile, Bakura, yeah, still just kind of slow pushing the cart. Dueling out with Panda Squad, who, you know, just gonna get taken down there as they get 1v2'd, or find themselves in a 1v2, rather. And this slow and steady approach, unusual for a Watchpoint Gibraltar out of a Winton. Which, can we get some Wintons in chat, by the way? We've got 2 Wintons on the board, and I've yet to call for a Winton in chat. That is my bad. Cart continues to roll. Cart has at least made it down to this final quarter. And Bakura has yet to even set foot on high ground. I would be hollering at my gold teammates. Not really, but I would be thinking, like, damn, my teammates don't know how to use high ground. What are they doing just hanging out in the car wash? And it's working great here for the donkeys. Crimson trying this around, but Hudson has a great angle. Once again, just using the verticality of the fray to help control this high ground. Now both teams finally kind of starting to migrate up here as we get a battle for blue box. Bakura finally making a high ground appearance. Thank you for following Arya 333s. I appreciate you. Gosh, with the Kitsune Rush here right in front of the point. Furry Finboy able to sneak away with a speck of health. Woo! But gets behind enemy lines. Just dropping their own Kitsune Rush, just standing behind Damien Dapp. Damien Dapp jumps on the wall to avoid the pulse bomb out of Panda Squad. And this should be a point on the board. Let's just go to some back row pop. There it is. Oh, Arya's new coach for Amplify. Is that who that is? It just clicked with Legola dropping the hello there in chat. Oh, that was a swift step out of Finboy, just narrowly avoided Frozen's pulse. Like, got stuck, but was able to swift step back if I saw that correctly. We were kind of far away, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Gets Mikashapov. Oh, 8 health. 8 health. Trying to still hold on to this sound barrier. I feel like I've had it for a hot minute. Oh. Don't want to pop it there. Getting juggled into a corner. Couple of ADS bolts land there from, not from Hudson, but from Ame. Oh, that last one will do a bit. As the monkey topples lifeless onto the rest of the team. There it is. Thank you, Maddie. I knew you got my back on that one. I knew you'd drop a Winton in chat for me. The Crimsons fall back to stabilize. Once again, still have that sound barrier. I haven't really needed it, I suppose. The bullet on Abe. I don't know if she was aiming for Bakura or not, but Panda Squad and Boy were right there with enough damage. Oh my god, we got a back out. Oh my god, we got a C9. Oh my god, we got a C9. How the hell did that happen? Oh, and we gotta get I feel like that is just a frustration beat. They're out of Jono. They held the sound barrier for that whole point. And then after the cap, they just kind of throw it in like, ah! Fine, I'm the sound barrier. God, I haven't seen a back cap like that in some time. I didn't see it either. I didn't catch it up in the top bar either. Gotta admit. Oh, my other cool position was kind of floating above the door. Got an incredible ambush. Gotta help stabilize, perhaps bring some of the morale back there for Crimsons. How am I hiding on top of the shuttle here? Highly aggressive spot. Trying to, I guess, force ults out early. Perhaps recognizing that donkeys probably have a massive ult bank, which they do. Alright, Boris Prime will come in God. I'm still positioned on top of the shuttle. Hudson turns around. I still don't think he really quite recognized it or decided to just go ahead and just point the crossbow all forward, trying to find value on the Kitsune rush. I mean, the rush essentially, you're just able to buy some space. Sound barrier in from Diamond Depth as the Bolo comes in from behind. Oh, my, still lurking. Kitsune rush now up front, and the sandwich is going to come in. I get it. I get it. It's just I mean, that was a bona fide back cap. I mean, that was an insane bona fide back cap. Oh my god, what a match, y'all! This is great. This is fantastic. All right, before trying to steal some high ground. Boy position up top. Ooh, took a lot of damage, I imagine, from Hudson. Try to jump out, has Primal. He's just gonna leap right back in. Two angry monkeys in close quarters. So this is not a joke. I know, it's not a dad joke. Frozen giving chase, trying to follow up. Jono's gonna drop into the sound barrier, and the defense is gonna get aggressive. Boy runs down Hudson all the way down the street, just runs past Akash and comes back to pick up the kill onto the Kiriko. And just ragdolls everywhere. Late kills in the final 10 seconds. Bakor gets booped. Will not get the touch. Crimson's hang on after putting up a great time bank. They will tie us up here with a win on Watchpoint Gibraltar. What about? What about? I'll find the right button here in a minute. All right, I'm actually going to see the band this time. I swear. I swear I'm going to see the band this time. All right, so hybrid / flashpoint or push to choose from. It's going to be Kings. So that Dhill Donkey's map pick, just as a reminder. And giving us a Ramatra band. Well, if this means we're going to end up in a recent mirror. Ramatra has been kind of been the brawl tank of choice for Expert Division here for the past couple weeks. I know we've seen him a bit more recent OWCS, but been very Ramatra heavy here. So we'll see how this pans out. And if Dhill Donkeys have something else in mind outside of Brawl. Pretty one-sided map there. Bowie 30-3 on the Winston. 16k damage leading the server. I mean, most elims, fewest deaths, highest damage. What more could you ask for from a Winston on WPG? Panda Squad 24-6 there in the Tracer. 11.5k damage leading the DPS there from AimDot. Or Ame. Ame.exe. Juno banned from Crimson's. Let's get ready to head into map 3. This would be a good one to get a win on. You know, just because the only map choices left is going to be push, and you only have Colosseo or Runasapi to choose from. So the map pick on map 4 is not very powerful at all. So a win here, and you know, you can likely leverage this into a map 4 win, just based on the fact that, yeah, it's not like the losing team is going to really get to what's the word I'm looking for? To craft the situation into whatever's going to work best for them. Now, map 5, that changes around. If the losing team is able to win it out on push, you can choose between any game type for map 5. We're back into a super powerful pick. But I think I'm standing by my guns here. I think it makes this map 3 Kings very important.
So, I noticed
Looks like both teams are showing us dive. Bowie had that fantastic 30-3. Now, the Diva was banned out by Crimson's in the previous map. Bakura showing us that here. I thought we might get an initial shot, but Hudson's not even going to try for it. Doesn't even want to peek for it. Is that part of the new King's Row meta? Like, it's not even worth it to peek it with the Widow because of Freya now? Freya just tossed 2 bolts up into the corner. Kill without even being able to see her prey. Okay, high ground push. Wait, do we not have outlines on? We do not have outlines on. I'm so sorry. I was like, where's my defense? Defense definitely still within range to recontest. Obviously, Panda Squad kind of dropping down through house. I was looking to regroup with the rest of the team. He's going to draw some aggro on the opposite side, recall. We're not going to get this recontest. Okay, it looked like Crimsons were kind of staging to, you know, push ahead for another recontest, perhaps on the back of a Panda Squad, but they couldn't get things to line up for them right. I mean, a good job from Dhill Donkeys to keep the house clear, keep the pressure on, force that recall out of Panda Squad, I think, a little earlier than they would have liked, so. Ends up being a 5-minute time bank. We're on the road here for the Dhill Donkeys. Incinerator in immediately as Bowie tries to make their dive, and they just get obliterated, destroyed. No cooldowns to work with. Late pick from Akash. A couple late picks from Akasha, as a matter of fact. What? That one in the middle, I wasn't even a late pick. The second pick from Akasha just kind of levers that. You end up just a die on cart call once they were in the 5v3. Boy struggling to stay alive is last in ult charge, you know, across the server here. A little bit of a dance back and forth here in front. We did get an attempt at a pulse bomb out of Panda Squad. I think trying to keep this side flank clear from Frozen and Diamond Tap. Jono coming back to rejoin the front line. Did it leave the flank open? No, Diamond Tap is coming in to do the same. Regroups with their tank. I think both of the flanking squads kind of fall back. Kitsune Rush tossed in the middle. This could be Frozen's time to go, but they're not quick enough. This Panda Squad's going to push in to pick up 2. Miss this Kitsune. Pivotal fight when they're out of Crimsons. You lose that one, and you're facing a 5-minute time bank going into the Foundry. As it stands, this is a long run back here for the Dhill Donkeys. Swift step over. Furry Femboy was just kind of playing in enemy territory, dancing with the devil down there. Caution now under a bit of pressure. Jono comes in with the sound barrier. Primal Rage out of Bowie. Diamond Dap is able to save Akasha with their own beat, but force up into the corner eventually. Looks like, well, at least the support line will get overwhelmed. Yeah, Bakura low on health. Abe picking up a kill on a Frozen. This defense will stabilize. Just over 2 minutes remaining. Now, a healthy ult bank coming up here for the Donkeys. Most notably, this Kitsune rush. Far easier to get value out of here on Kings Road than what we saw in Watchpoint Gibraltar. Although we could still see the same tricks, little swift step into a fun spot. But nah, this is just keep it simple, rotate around the corner, toss the Kitsune rush down range. Bakura finishes off Furry Femboy. And a little flip of the map as Panda Squad, alongside Jono, I believe it was, tried to circle around through the pub to get into the back line. But flawless fight win, all 5 still standing here from the Donkeys. Now sights set on the Foundry. The card still has a few meters to go. We'll see if Crimsons want to try to see if they can make a leap at this thing. They just have a bolo to work with. But if you're Crimsons, you might be able to get some ult out. Yeah, force the Donkeys to spend ultimates to get this cap at the very least, if not make a stop. Bakura's going to gobble up Ame's ult and drop a self-destruct onto the point, immediately following. Oh, look, he get back in mech. Actually got stalked by the ADS bolt out of Ame, but caught the mech just in time before the bolt exploded. Joker, I appreciate the raid. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you streaming. I hope you're having a great stream. I was just talking about you earlier in the stream, saying I hope to see you doing more co-streaming and stuff here at FACEIT League. Abstract, appreciate the follow. A trilogy of shots thrown Bowie's direction. Frozen actually picks up Panda Squad with a pulse. Oh my. Oh my. If Colosseo is the most difficult target, then Tracer's got to be right next. And yeah, Panda Squad even dropping some love in chat for that one. Considering it's thrown directly at Akasha. And despite being one up in the fight, Crimsons are able to kind of hold the line. Akasha does end up responding, kind of waits just a beat so they get the extra time here. But this Kitsune Rush doesn't really go deep enough into the Foundry. It gets, only gets around the first corner. So once again, it's into a dogfight to take any more space. Jono a little bit late on the sound barrier to save Panda Squad. Ame's going to toss in a bolo. That was a pretty enormous bolo. Yanked everybody in, but a wonderful Suzu out of Akasha is able to prevent too much follow-up damage, keep people alive. Primal Rage is in play for you. Finboy's able to pick up one with the kunai. Thirty seconds to go as we get a push up towards the high ground. Oops, sorry. Bakura's in a bit of trouble. Trying to fly back, get some healing out of Akasha. See if they can get the rest of that Kitsune rush up. And they might have been intentional out of Bakura. They want this Kitsune rush. We already got the bolo tossed in, but it looked like the bubble was able to block that. Bakura is here to keep the map going. Taking a lot of damage, trying to hide right on top of the self-destruct. Is able to get the mech back down. That Katsune Rush built here from Akasha. The return available from Furry Femboy. Akasha landed some shots, finds Ame, taking out a good chunk of the damage. Beautifully played here out of the back line of the Dhill Donkeys, and Akasha and the rest are still 5 strong here. We are in OT. But they're on track to get this cap. No ultimates online. Ame is close. And they are at 2 out of 3 on the bounty. So one final blow will immediately get the bolo ready. Or just a couple of shots. Jono already down though. And Akasha is able to find the headshot before the bolo lands. Sound barrier available here from Diamond Dap. And it should be enough to get this cart over the line. As we started paying more and more attention to Akasha's Kiriko, we're was more and more impressed. You know, we saw Jono with that big play of the game in the previous map. And both of our team support lines really getting into the mix. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I mean, that makes me want to go play some Kiriko. After this match, let's get some dinner, maybe go play some Kiriko here on this lovely Friday night. That's Akasha playing that well, makes me want to go play some Kiriko and play, a 10th as well as that. No changes compositionally for the defense out of Donkeys. Looks like both supports alongside Hudson on the high ground, leaving Frozen and Bakura down to Anchor Hotel. Bakura taking an unusually aggressive position on left stairs. For Femboy, swift step up here to try to assist in this. Good shots from Hudson across the way, though. That was actually a nice little bait. Kind of drawing Furry Femboy into a vulnerable spot and leaving Hudson back for some crossfire. So Bakura absolutely playing a little bit of bait in that. I think if anything was just trying to get initial damage into Bowie. And if he could have gotten the kill on a Furry Femboy, would have been ideal. Now, Frozen, of course, does win the duel while all that's happening, but Panda Squad has respawned back. Now moving back onto this point. A little pressure on, and the objective loops back in and try to help out with the fight, where Akasha is desperate to keep Bakura alive. They're going to loop around through her house. The attacking Crimson's kind of loops back towards Statue, and both teams retreat to their own corners momentarily. Akasha leading the server in ult charge at 82%. And apparently our glazing is not misplaced here on this Kiriko. That last little healing on to Bakura should be enough to get this Katsune Rush online. Expect a recontest here immediately. Yep, thrown directly onto Bowie. Bakura just ate a significant amount of poke damage as they make that approach, though. But still, with the extra healing coming out from that Katsune Rush, there's plenty of sustain to go around. Bakura had Frozen, put a couple in the feed, and that's going to be a hold here. Donkeys do give up one tick, but they're able to stabilize. Bakura moving back over to hold stairs. What are they looking for? Ame's already in house. Oh, they thought Ame was in stairs. Like, wait a minute, what are they doing over there? Ame had snuck around. Somebody had their Bloodhound nose on. Was able to sniff out Ame. Furry Femboy looking to get an angle towards the back of Hotel. Oh, this is a good spot for a rush. Kind of looking around like, okay, where did the defense go? Hudson scattered up to the high ground. And you have Bakura trying to anchor onto this point. Self-destruct out from them. Able to get back and back yet again. Hudson comes around from behind and catches Alme before the sound barrier hits. Hudson with an incredible flag. I don't think got red until it was way too late. Kind of snuck through Hotel. Got in underneath Crimson's attack there. Sound barrier re-engage. Panda Squad swapped over to a cast. He's gonna be the first to die on this. Oh, not the most aggressive rush I've ever seen, but it'll get the job done. 45 seconds left to go. Oh, that's an enormous bolo. Better Suzu. Caution recognizing that that would have just been the point right there had the damage from the bolts been allowed to hit, you know, the 3 people that were caught in that bolo. Beautifully played. Gosh, with no hesitation.
10 seconds.
So desperate wrecking ball swap here out of Crimson's. Panda Squad's able to pick up Frozen though. Frozen has been giving him a very hard time through Hotel throughout this defense, so that's a really good opener. Now trying to catch the donkeys as they disengage out of Hotel. One shot lands onto Diamond Dap, but the defense matrix is good to protect him throughout the rest. Ame is able to follow up on that initial damage to get a kill, and Bakura is super low on this point. Caution already used to continue the rest of the previous fight. Furry gets theirs out. And that's going to be the cap.
Escort the payload.
So we get the Eraser to match the Cass. Frozen lurking around, but Panda Squad's now picked it up. He's kind of come back through. He's checking that alley. Does use the combat roll, so there will be an opening there. Throw in some ultimates. Gets stuck. Actually absorb the majority of that damage. Self-destruct finds 2. How does that happen? Went to get in the remake as well. I think the remake actually did some damage to Bowie. You don't see a self-destruct get a couple kills like that very often anymore. Well placed out of Bakura. Great clean up there from Frozen. It's kind of now or never here for Crimsons. If they don't win this fight, then the likelihood of them finishing with any kind of time is less and less likely. Able to land the flash and the shot, but Akasha just self-Suzus. Swift steps over to rejoin here with Bakura playing off of the side flank. Now this does put them on a bit of a time crunch, as they are forced to make a move before the cap comes through. Bakura trying to take the top of Subway, but doesn't have a clean access to the point, and the cart continues to get away from him. Terra Surge and Kitsune Rush combined here from Crimson's, and that will be enough to get this point. And even winning this fight, as I mentioned, they needed to, they still are only going to have a $130 going into Foundry. Very difficult to cap with time with just 90 seconds to work with. Well, I'm going over to the Genji as well. There's no Freya to try to help tackle this high ground, and up to Alme to try to close the gap. Suzu used Panda Squad backing away at 8th health, but doesn't have the combat roll to avoid the pulse. That was 2 old shoes to take Panda Squad out of this fight. That is the level of respect Dhill Donkeys are putting on Panda Squad. Both DPS to make sure to get the cast. Yeah, Record was being a little bit sneaky up there. I thought Bowie knew they were there. Record trying to back up. Is going to self-destruct here right inside the Mega Room. Dropped it in the doorway. You can tell that was slightly calculated. Deadeye out of Panda Squad. Blade in from Abe. Cuts down Hudson, and the Deadeye is going to get the D-Mech onto Bakor. Panda Squad falls up with a kill there. When you get a trade back here from a caution Frozen. This is by no means done. Random screenshot to lock in. Damien Dapp does still have a sound barrier and is still skating around on this point. Throws on the sound barrier with everybody returning. That hits all 5. Bakor getting the full brunt of that. Hudson invests the bolo in from above. Considering they rush down low, but Crimson's are running out of reinforcements. The Dhill Donkeys hang on. They will close it out on Kings to move up to match point. I mean, I really kind of won that through, the point A defense. And they're just eating all the time off the clock there. We'll say both of our carries have been spectacular. Furry from Crimson's actually getting the play on this one. Maybe a slightly robbed play of the game. So Colosseo and Runasapi for Crimson's to choose from. Colosseo pick. Ramatra Band coming through from Crimson's. Which is interesting. We had the Ramatra Band from Dhill Donkeys in the previous map. So I don't even have to change the band. Because the Crimson's are swapping sides. All right, let's take a look at some stats there from map 3. I realized there's at least 2 people using my band controller. I was like, wait a minute. There's a couple other co-streamers using the controller I made for Hero Bands. I just realized. I don't know why. Hey, I'm happy it's useful. I'm very happy it's useful. Stats there from map 3. Oh, Damien Dapp, 30-3 on the Lucio. Let's go. Man, these support lines have been just lights out good tonight. Holy shit. But of course, my coat. This is abstract. McCord at 37-4, leading your lobby in elims. But it's Hudson leading in damage at 18.5, even more than Bowie on the other side. Yeah, we did get Kern playing in map 1, which is something I haven't really touched on, and Bowie coming in for maps 2 and 3. So Bowie's staying in here. Now, I mean, map 1 was a Dhill Donkeys dub as well. So, I mean, Bowie did come in and was able to win map 2. I mean, fairly convincingly, right? You know, comes in to plays the Winston there for Watchpoint Gibraltar and, you know, just takes over the lobby coming off the pitch. So, no surprise to seeing Bowie stick in here. But yeah, something that I was like, wait, we haven't really talked about that. It's going to be a Juno ban. What the fuck? What the hell? I thought we weren't supposed to be able to repay bans anymore. Obviously, it's a joke. It's the opposite teams have banned out the same 2 heroes. Wild. So I literally don't have to change the bans. We just swap sides. That's a first. That's a first here since the era of hero bans. I've never had that happen. At least since we've had hero bans that, you know, don't repeat. But yeah, we just kind of had an honorable agreement between our 2 teams. We'll just trade bans. All right, let's get into map 4. It's actually Bakura who moves into the Orisa here for this map. Bowie sticking in with the Winston. Okay, Hudson and Frozen kind of working on the right side. Frozen is going back into the Genji here for Colosseo, so another interesting little caveat, little adjustment alongside the Orisa change. Plays around verticality, I'd say a bit better. Not as good a finisher, I don't think, as the Tracer, but definitely a more powerful ultimate, at least a more consistent fight-winning ultimate. Slow and steady is the name of the game here for Donkeys once again. This is the same strategy they used on Watchpoint Gibraltar, actually. It worked well for them on point A. I mean, they end up kind of falling short in the end, but it worked well for them on point A. Was able to get in underneath. I mean directly underneath Hudson. That's a bit of a messy fight here in the Arches to kick things off. We see Frozen dash through Panda Squad as Ame's able to find the kill, leaving just 2 players remaining here from Crimson's. There's a bit of a bloodbath opener here on Colosseo, but Crimson's do come away with the bot and that early meterage, allowing to push up to the corner and try to fight for bridge. Looking at pretty comparable ult charges on both sides. The one exception being Jono on the Lucio. He's got about a 30% lead over Damien Dapp. So this, that's a significant enough lead and close enough to being ready to go. This just could be the engagement tool. But you got to keep Bowie alive. Bowie already low. Akasha's going to throw down a Kitsune Rush to secure that kill. Hudson finds the pick, and Jono is still 5-10 away from that sound barrier. So it's going to be a disengage here from the rest of Crimson's. Oh, hey, I owe you. I'm going to get you Preds this time. I know it's a little late, but I'm going to get you Preds nevertheless. Furry just got a free Kitsune Rush right on top of Bakura here. Oh, I ate a bolt. It's like, okay, yeah, throw down the Kitsune Rush. Stop messing about. Hudson grabbed one with the bolo and immediately reset the bounty. So it's right back at 50%. Just use the ultimate. Terra Surge gets absolutely nothing. Amazing. A slick move. Find that kill onto Hudson. Panda Squad getting a pair as well. So a quick clap back with no ults needed. But we did invest the primal at some point throughout that. And of course, swaps over off of the Orisa onto the Diva. And this is, we'll start seeing the Winston find more value. Frozen already finding some value. They slice through Ame with a big purple sword. Immediate clap back on the back of that one ultimate. So I was talking about with the Genji, with the Dragon Blade being able to, secure fight wins a bit more consistently than a pulse bomb. Small push around the corner for it. Just get the Kitsune Rush. Fantastic timing. Caution using theirs in the previous fight, so not a whole lot to fight against this rush. In fact, a spoil for choice here for Crimson's. They got a couple of ultimates they could use to try to engage with. They know they're out of cycle of Frozen's Dragon Blade, so Jono could choose to get aggressive here. Very Fit Boy is going to be the one to pull the trigger on it first. We got a pulse attempt out of Panda Squad. That went a bit awry. But shots are aim and shocking from Bowie. is good enough to win this fight fairly flawlessly on the back of just that Kitsune Rush Pulse combo. Hey, Trash Panda! What's up, my friend? I've missed you. Frozen off of the Genji, comes back on a Tracer. Damien Tap has managed to catch up in the sound barrier race. But Crimsons still have a bit of advantage as far as the ult economy goes, and this Primal Rage is a good example of that, although Damien Tap is able to kind of dance around, and Bowie's forced to just hightail it the other direction. Does not get any of the value that they would have liked out of that ultimate. Raze just says, watching my little donkeys plays brings a tear to my eye. Aww. Right now, the donkeys are trying to regain their lead. They have managed to come back into the economy a bit here. Completely out of sync with Furry's Kitsune Rush, like right at the halfway mark. There's a little bit of disengage here. I think Furry was actually, okay, yeah, was able to swift step out. Frozen moves in, sneaks in behind Panda. Panda never saw that one coming. Sound barrier in from John Owen. Almost going to toss in a bolo as well. But Diamond Dap had their sound barrier available and was able to thwart a lot of the damage, but Akasha still gets picked throughout all that. But Bowie drops, so Bakor, the only tank left in this fight. Is there enough sustain without Akasha being here for Bakor to win it out? Diamond Dap's able to pick up one, but it's just Lucio healing, and Bakor is going to go ahead and back away. Ame given pursuit here, but not overextending. Victor says, who else Dhill in their duck right now? These guys are ass. Oh, Nogfred. That's funny. That's funny. Consider Rush out a furry femboy. Like, is it donkeys or an ass? All right. That was good. That was good. Nice shot. Oh, and the Crimsons are making this one interesting, though. With just over 2 minutes to go, they're going to win a very important fight here in the middle. This is going to get them darn close to a checkpoint. Go donkeys. Razor says, this is how I know you're a real one, Cap. Okay, yep, that is in fact the checkpoint. Bakor does not make the high risk play to try to stop it. It just goes in afterwards. Still pretty high risk play to try to drive into the back line. Lucky to have the self-destruct to get back at mech. Is being pursued here by the Primal Rage, considering Rush thrown in from Akasha. Bowie trying to make it in to assist with the rest of the fight. Hudson's going to get popped. Bakor trying to chase Panda Squad out, but Panda Squad is too elusive. It's just going to bleep back down, regroup with a couple of supports, tops right back up. Jono, oh my! High-risk sound barrier lands to hit 4. That was nearly an AJ, like entirely too close. Every Crimson's player I flip to is kind of back out of the fight. Still, Bowie's able to fight Diamond. Or Damien, excuse me. There's a wild back and forth between these two teams. Last couple of fights have just felt very, very close. Okay, Hudson playing low. Ooh! Panda Squad's back right into Hudson. Recall already used and eats an ADS shot. Panda Squad just blinks over to grab the mini. But Abe is able to win out at least one, if not two. There's Abe over the top. We'll get Bakor out of the mech. Not able to find the shot before they get back in mech, but still, a couple of quick ADS bolts, and Bakor is demeched for the second time in 5 seconds. There's the finish. Is always going to find 3 in this fight, and Crimson's will send us to a map 5. I'm gonna say, barring just an insane run out of Hudsons and Donkeys here. Like, there was the potential, but the caution not able to get the Kitsune rush into this fight, despite finding a couple of great kills at the very end. We are map 5 bound.
Play of the game.
All right, Donkeys do get the pick. I mean, and again, can choose from any map that has not been played yet. Wait, why did y'all screen update? That's weird. Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. There it goes. All right, Busan pick. Lucio banned out. And we are going to get a side swap here yet again, so... Hey, I have to change the bands this time. They can't repeat bands again. Alright, it's Busan to determine this banger of a match. What a way to close out our week. Let's look at some stats there for map 4. What stands out, friends? What stands out? I'm at 20-2. Leading the DPS as far as damage is concerned, and then Bowie 26-3, 12k damage. Sticking with the Winston there in Colosseo, making it work. All right, so you saw a Lucio ban, and from the Donkeys it's a Freya ban from Crimson's. Ave says you're welcome for content.
Ready for battle.
Oh, thank you, Trash Panda. Yay! I may have forgotten map 3 Prince. I'm so glad you're here.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
All right, we get Ramachas for the first time in, well, several maps. I feel like Bakura kind of got the better end of the Ramatra deal previously. But, I mean, just gets mowed down here right out of the gate. As we get an interesting little swap, Panda Squad pulling out the Symmetra and Ame going over to a Tracer. So, a bit of a double flex DPS look with the Brig Judo. Interesting look that gave Crimson's a bit of an edge, a bit of an ambush. Maybe perhaps catching, Donkey slightly off guard there. Hudson pulling out the cast here for this map. A little fanny fan. I'm gonna try to squeeze in from the flank side. Rotation from Bakura and the rest of Donkeys. They're able to catch one good turn to find Furry Finboy as well. Woo! Quick pair of punches, pick up Jado. Not able to get the block back up to fend off the pulse bomb, though. So despite Bakura coming up with a couple of picks through that, and they do eventually go down. First cap had gone over to Crimson's after that fight win, getting about 40%, but there's the flip. Now, we're looking at a lightning fast recontest coming in. Both teams pretty darn close in ultimates. Ame actually did invest a pulse bomb. See, I thought Frozen might try to get in as the supports were trying to push out of this doorway. There you go. He's going to blink in and drop it on Panda Squad. Beautifully done. 2-for-1 trade should be enough to drive the Crimson Squad back into their, through their choke into their hallway. Photon Barrier to open this up. There's an orbital in play. Akora is very thankful for it. Tried to sidestep, was eventually able to find some of that health before the orbital got away. Diamond Dab's going to throw in a rally into this fight as well. Akasha gets separated from the team, though, and Diamond Dab gets, or Damien Dab, excuse me, gets pulled down by that annihilation. Boy's going to end up smashing through everybody with that ultimate and get the flip here for Crimsons. Yeah, absolutely banger game. Oop. Panda Squad with a quick teleport, trying to cut off the low ground rotation. Orbital already tossed in. I mean, it's double support ults. In from Crimson to try to hold this corner. Ooh, Bakura steps out into it with the annihilation. It gets body blocked. No, it's just stuck on the corner. Oh, a sad sight. Bakura gets dropped. 71%. Cleanup is good from Ame Panda. One last attempt. Oh, what a... I've never seen quite a lockdown, like where Bakura looked like they might be able to get through, but Bowie just had the right position to lock Bakura in place. All right, no ultimates to try to push out of this choke. And the speed ring is a little too far forward. I don't think Bakura is able to really use it. 97%. I believe it's Frozen with the touch. Don't see a Tracer down there amongst the 4 people trying to push out from this choke. Frozen dancing on. I want to keep an eye on this fight, though. The core and the rest are going to have to make it down on the objective to keep this going. Frozen is about to run out of time. He's run out of cooldowns. Now Frozen is dead. No one else alive to move on to the point. Crimsons will grab round 1.
Score 1-0. Ready for battle. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
Okay. Adjustments. Bakura pulls out the Winston. Akasha into an Ana with Hudson pulling out a Soj. So big changes here. Nasty Sleep. Calling for backup. 3, 2, 1. Ah, man gets the recall up. But recalls into the same place. Blinks in behind enemy lines. The Hudson had the position up here on the balcony. Ooh, knows Bowie is kind of waiting behind him. Yeah, the speed ring kind of gave you away there. Cap has not come through as Ame makes it back onto the point to kind of challenge Frozen here for the objective. Meanwhile, let's check back in on the tank battle. Bakura rejoins. Bowie drops down and looks like both teams are going to kind of congregate here. Beautiful anti-nade will put Bowie into the respawn. Damien Depp kind of dancing around the bubble. Is eventually going to break that, and Bakura has to head to the high ground. No DPS left standing here, and despite not having a tank, this is going to be a first cap going over to Crimsons in this 3v3. Hudson makes a swap over to the far. Nano boost thrown on to Bakura. Oh, he's going to go try to hunt down Bowie. Gets whip shot and teed. But other than that, I mean, you just get the Nemesis form out. Ame is able to find a kill, use a recall and get the heck out of there. Bowie chases down Damien Dapp, punches through Akash, and its both supports gone. Crimson's with another solid fight win. Even gets the finish onto McCord to clean it up and gets the team kill. Hudson makes yet another swap. This time back into the cast. Frozen goes over into the Genji. I'm still dancing around here on this point. McCora's already dove way deep. Get the rally out of Jono is just going to jump right on out. They try to re-engage with their own rally here. Gets the stun, but a lot of pressure. Great teleport out of Panda Squad. So it's a good job. Like 3 players are able to go to the front line, immediately come back and help get that kill on Hudson. Creating mismatches on both sides of the battlefield here with some clever teleport uses out of Panda Squad. And this one's going to be good enough to get it towards 99. We have one last chance here out of the Donkeys, and I don't think it's going to be a full 5-player assault. Teleport for Panda Squad, kind of anticipating the move up into the balcony. 95%. Bakura on the ball. Gets stuck in the vortex. Slowed down by the teleport. That's going to do it. The sim to... What am I looking for? Oh my goodness. The sim turrets. The sim turrets was just that little additional slow. So the vortex combined with the sim turrets deny the final touch there. I mean, again, it would have been a broken, kind of desperate touch out of the wrecking ball anyway. But alas, it's a clean 100-0 here from Crimson's to close out a map 5 bagger. What a match. What a great match. The Crimsons end up looking amazing in the Ramatra. Where I felt like, I mean, that was like, Bakura won the Ramatra duel. I mean, I say that. I mean, it wasn't, they had Kernan, I think, for that original Ramatra duel. So Bowie comes in map 2. Able to win Watchpoint Gibraltar. And then turns it around with a 26-3 performance on Colosseo. I'd say, I mean, Bowie would be your player of the match. Hands down, most damage there in that 5th map. Looking really, really good in the brawl. 17-2. Most elims, most damage. Most damage is the majority of these maps, as a matter of fact. So, in all 4 maps Bowie was in, Bowie had most damage. Oh, actually, no, excuse me, scratch that. Hudson got it in map 3. Still, I think Bowie's got to be your MVP here tonight. And your team out of advanced, making, it's our first season in Expert Division. What a win here, moving up to 3-1 after this win here today. Look at that jump. That put Crimson's up into 4th, 5th.